Welcome back to What Arty Noobs with General Disturbance. This is the Hummel, the Tier 6 German SPG. It's located on the northeast spawn of Live Oaks and it's under the command of Angelina75. Now, as you may know, she's been conducting tests along with Talon1958 on the new ammunition and the new method of playing Arty. And she's having some success, and this is a couple of videos, or a couple of more videos actually, because we've already seen a couple already, showing how she's getting on. Okay, well, 2 marks of excellence on the barrel of her Hummel. She's also had an ace tanker, high caliber, quite a few other medals, and you can see she's actually taking a quite advanced position, moving close to the town so she can get shots on the enemy tanks as they come in. The first enemy tank that's spotted is an AMX-12 ton, right in the centre of the marsh. She fires in a round at the last spot and hits the spot, but no guarantee the AMX-12 ton was there. Okay, she's ready to go again. And she's aiming towards the town because obviously the enemy tanks are about to enter. And you can see the defender. It was just a fraction of a second too late, but she did get some stun. Now, she is using the stock gun, which of course, as you know, is the top gun on the Griller. And whilst it doesn't have the full power of the top gun, it actually does have a better trajectory and better accuracy, which means you get more hits on the enemy. Now, these shells will do 480 alpha for the standard rounds, 38mm of penetration, but she's loading one of the special rounds now, the new explosive rounds, 580 and 48mm. And she's aiming towards a T28 HTC who was seen coming through the town towards us. Okay, Tiger P on the corner there. Can she get a hit? Rounds out. Direct hit. 196. That was a fairly good shot, but with the standard HE, which would have done 600 alpha way back when, before the RT changes, I think she probably would have got more damage with the standard HE round than with the new premium rounds. Going for the T28, and she gets her first kill. Okay, the defender's using that wreck for armour at the moment, but he's also making himself a perfect target. Now, the standard reload is 25.31 seconds, and she's got 20.50 showing on the mods. Rounds out, direct hit, using another of the premium high explosive. Only 92 hit points, but the defender does have fairly heavy armour, so it's not surprising that she is getting low damage. I've noticed as well, she's scrolling out each time that she's aiming, instead of using the standard method that we've learned, which is a lot better. 180 off that shot. If you hold down the control key, that will bring up the little mouse on the screen, and all you need to do is move that mouse over the minimap on the point where you want to aim, and then right click on the spot where you want to look at, and it goes there straight away. Rounds out. Another direct hit, 135 this time. Looks like those enemy tanks are actually being whittled away bit by bit. She can't get a shot on the defender at the moment because the buildings are going in the way. She might want to change position. Ah, she's doing it. Good. Excellent. She's increasing her possibilities of actually getting a shot on target if she changes position. That's a fact that we all know as Arty players. Sometimes you just have to change your aim point. Oh, fantastic! She threaded it between that gap and hit the defender. And she got him for 171, and he was a one shot for the VK who took him out the game. Okay, looks like we've got the city, but the enemy appears to have the railway line at the moment, and, well, there's a Canonian Jagdpanzer down in the other end of the map. Now she's having to dial in on this MT25 because he's a long way away and she had to change position on the vehicle. Rounds out. Oh, directed again, and another kill. Now the one thing that Angelina and Calvin, not mentioned his real name, Talon1958, that's better, actually have learned is that they can get very accurate shots on the enemy if they let it dial in, and you get to that point where it's fully dialed in. If you use the aim timer as well, that helps a great deal. Then you can get accurate shots which kill enemy tanks. She's now going for the M44. She's fully dialed in, rounds out, and another kill! That's 3 kills! In fact, I think that was 3 kills with 3 shots. Or was it? No, it wasn't 3 kills with 3 shots. Because she only wounded the defender. She didn't actually get a kill off him. So that's 2 kills with 2 shots now. Let's have a look and see what she's aiming at now. Okay, the next target's the CS44, but she sees the AMX 12-ton. That was the first one she fired at. And she changes target to the CS44. Fires in at where he was last seen. There's her shot. Now she's run out of the premium HE. She's now firing standard HE. You notice she's not loaded any of the armor piercing rounds simply because we found out that they don't generate the amount of damage that we would expect. Plus, of course, they're very inaccurate. But a lot of people have noticed this, that armor piercing is not as good as Wargaming made it out to be. And that's because Wargaming have nerfed the accuracy of Arty generally, not just the M44, they've nerfed all of them. So we're all finding that accuracy is down, and even though Angelina's having some success with the Hummel, that's mainly because the howitzer on the Hummel is a very accurate gun regardless. Even if you put an extra bit of dispersion in there, it still would be accurate. She's aiming for the corner, because just behind that corner is a P44 Pantera. And I think she needs to change position again to open up the angle on that spot. See if she can put a shell around the corner to kill the P44. Our Budgie's in the middle of the swamp, and we've got a Scorpion G. Oh, the Budgie just got wiped out by the enemy Arty, an M12. But she's changing position to try and flush that P44 Pantera out and let the Scorpion G or maybe the VK101P get a shot on the target. VK is actually moving towards the house where the Pantera is. He's just behind that building at the moment, as far as we know. She's marked the spot. It's a 2-second delay before the shell arrives. 1.9 actually, but she's going to fire in. VK's almost there. He's reached the spot, but he didn't find the Pantera. And in fact, now we've spotted a T-78 over the other side near the houses. She's going for a shot. That's out. Well, it was right on target. That's exactly where she aimed. But the Pantera is not at the house, so he's pulled back. And there's the Kanonen Jagdpanzer. Angelina's just reloaded, so she's going to have a try and see if she can get that Kanonen Jagdpanzer. There he is, lining up a shot, trying to let it dial in, but he's moving a lot. Makes it difficult. She fires a round in. Oh, she got a direct hit. No explosion, and he is stunned, so she did hit him. And the Pantera has suddenly come out of nowhere, so he must have been hiding behind a ridgeline, and he just killed the VK. Angelina's going to be able to shoot momentarily, but she doesn't need to worry. The P44 Pantera is taken down by the Scorpion G. She fires towards the Kanonen. Oh, she didn't get the kill, but the teammate did. She's got a teammate in the GW Panther, and he just got a kill on the Kanonen Jagdpanzer, and she must have stunned him beforehand, which means she's probably picked up some stun assist, but since the vehicle was unspotted, nothing was recorded. Okay, she's moving back to the cap area because there's nobody between her and the enemy. And that T-78 might actually decide to come round this way. I think it's more likely that he will try and defend the area he's in. And I wouldn't be surprised if that CS-44 tried to come up towards our cap. The scores are 4-all at the moment. We have been behind on the enemy for some time, but we've managed to claw it back thanks to Angelina and the others. Just going to try and help the GW Panther to defend the cap area. And also we've got the help of the Rain 40 ton as well. I would not be surprised to see CS-44 try and come north and try to take out some of our cap defenders. The enemy team still has an SU-152, a T-78, that M12, and there's the CS-44, so he is trying to take our cap area all alone, which is very ill-advised. She's lost sight of him, but she can see some of the destruction he's causing as he's moving next to the lake edge. Where is he? He's somewhere in the vicinity. There he is! Oh, snapshot too early. But unfortunate, but he's still there, so she can still get a shot on him. Just lining up. Oh, he's gone behind the house. Now that's probably not a smart move because Angelina can lay a shell down right next door to the house. Oh my god, she hits him! He backed up and the shell went in. There was no explosion, so she actually hit the rear of that CS-44. So he must have backed up a bit and took the shell on his rear. That means he's down to minimal hit points now. Our Scorpion's nearby. He's right up on top of that spotting hill. Angelina's trying to see where he is. We're relying on the Scorpion G to spot him. We haven't got anyone else closer. She's marked the spot where she thinks he is. Obviously behind the house still. With any luck, the Scorpion should be able to put a round into him and finish him off, because I don't think he's got many hit points now. And up the railway line comes the SU-152, so Angelina's reassigned her aim, or realigned it. The SU-152 takes a round for 298, the Lorraine 40 tons hitting him, and Angelina hits him as well for 163, and he gets killed by the Lorraine 40 ton. Meanwhile, the Scorpion found and killed the CS-44, which means now the enemy's down to 2 tanks, an M12 and a T-78. And she's just been asked to platoon with the Lorraine 40 ton. And she's done so. Lorraine's only got 1 kill at the moment, which means obviously she won't be able to get her brothers in arms off him, but at least I think he's only got 1 kill. Or is are my figures, my eyes deceiving me? So far we're showing 1,380 hit points of damage, but I know she's done more than this, because obviously she got the hit on the Canonian Jagdpanzer and nothing was recorded for that, and she stunned him again just before he got killed, and nothing showing for that either. It's a very good performance, and she's using both shells to get damage. I think it does help though that the Hummel does have very good accuracy. That's the 1 minute hooter. Means I haven't got much time left. The Scorpion just took some damage, and it's obvious the T-78 did that damage because he wasn't showing any stun, and it was a 90mm round. She's dialing in on the T-78, trying to line up a shot. Rounds out. It landed short. Now what she needs to do is auto-aim onto him when she gets close. Just put the little chevron over the vehicle and press your right hand mouse button, lock on. That will make your shotguns a lot more accurate. They will hit the target. Okay, now do it, lock on. Oh, she tried a manual shotgun, it didn't work. If you auto aim, you'll do it. And the T-78 goes down to her platoon mate. Oh, and that was the M12 just firing around him, but they've run out of time. So the game is over and it's a draw. So close to a victory. The second replay in our video is on the north spawn of Pilsen. Game on. Now in this battle you can see that she's loaded nothing but the premium HE. Okay, it does have a little more extra kick to it. It's 580 alpha and 48mm of penetration. And she's taking it over to the east side of the map. Now I presume what she's actually going to do from here is she's going to be able to hit the enemy tanks that are on the other side, on the south side, on that hill. She's aiming for the gap next to the building. There doesn't appear to be anyone that side. She might fire on the other side. She can always hit the railway line as well. Yep, that was an accurate shot. Now it's going to cost her slightly more for the shells. They are more expensive. But if she does get accurate hits, then she's going to be doing more damage. Should remind you that apart from them being going through 48mm of armour, they've only got a 4 meters blast radius, and that means that you have to get the shells very close to the target if you're going to do any damage whatsoever, and they have no stun, which means that you're not going to get any stun assist when you're using this ammo. So we'll see if she ends up with less damage overall at the end of the game. You can compare both games, one where it has the standard HE and has stun, and games where she only fires the premium HE. Nobody's come up the railway line yet, but they normally do. Instead, she's firing towards the factory. Tiger 1's gone in there. In fact, that's a stock Tiger 1. It's got the squarish turret. And she gets a direct hit with 296 hit points. And I think we just saw the tracer of an enemy Arty, and he's just hit Angelina with a near miss that cost her 205 hit points. I think he spotted where her tracer was coming from and worked out where to put the shell. The Tiger's still there, so she can get an accurate shot. Rounds out, and then she gets killed this time. But she is being counter-batteried, so she does need to change position every shot. Okay, she's now aiming to the south end of the factories. There's a number of enemy tanks over there, and in fact a T-52 who's absolutely stationary, which is fatal if you're in the game with Arty. Rounds out. Direct hit wipes him out altogether. 455. I don't think that was a one-shot kill, because I think he actually had taken some damage already, but it certainly put the wind up him and drove him out the game, sent him back to the garage. And their team's doing rather well because they're 1 up on the enemy. They were 2 up, but they just lost 1. Okay, she's aiming towards the 122, but she spots this Strib M4257, the autoloader. She's aiming back. She has to get a near miss, rounds out, or a direct hit. She gets a near miss for 157. Not going to be able to get a shot on that SU-122-44 unless he comes around the corner. In fact, he's being shoved around the corner by one of our teammates. And we spotted the Object 244 in the railway line, or next to the railway line. Lands behind him, but he is taking substantial damage. And there he goes. They're doing well, although at the moment the scores are even. So it looks like they're not doing so well over in the factory area. And in fact, we can see that because we just lost a 45 TP. Oh, she fired a snap there. Unfortunately, she didn't get the Cromwell. It looks like we've got this side of the map and the enemy's got the other side. So she does need to reposition, because if the enemy starts making their way towards our cap, she might get spotted by the enemy tanks. But if she moves over here, it's going to be a little more difficult for them to see her. Okay, Hellcat's coming back because he wants to help defend the cap. And this is a smart move, because actually if she moves down into the coal yard, there's no way the enemy tanks are going to spot her unless they can see through the factories. In fact, she's now moving to support her team as they make their way in to the west side of the map. Okay, there's one of the enemy tanks. It's the 45 TP, very low on hit points. Oh, he dies before she can get a shot out. She was letting it dial in because she wanted to get an accurate hit to wipe him out, but unfortunately, no joy there. She's now looking for the enemy Arty. She's just found him. Now, I think that's slightly over to the left. A bit further to the left, a bit further back. One of the enemy tanks has made its way to the cap. It's a Type 58. That's the Chinese version of the T-3485. And, well, that's not going to help him being there. I think he thought that he was defending himself against somebody over on the railway line. And there's the enemy Arty. He's gone. The Nashorn, that's the next best target. Rounds out. Lands just behind him. He moved. In fact, he's going to die very shortly, and I think the C-25's also going to die, even though he's hiding behind a wreck. The Nashorn's gone. Come on, reload. He's still there. Rounds out. Direct hit, and she gets the kill. Big mistake to try and push that wreck. He gave away his position. Angelina saw exactly what he was doing. He was just pushing the wreck along as extra armor, and she knew that she could put a shot in there and get a kill. There's only two enemies left. One of them is a Jaegeru, the other one is a Cromwell B. The Jaegeru has got no kills. Last seen in this area, we can hear some trees being knocked down. And the other one, the Cromwell B, well, he has got 3 kills, but I seem to recall he actually has missed or lost a lot of hit points. Rounds out the Jagdpanzer. Direct hit, 162. And he's gone. Now, the Cromwell B was last seen in the factories, and, well, we've got tanks nearby there. In fact, actually, he is in the corner as well. He must have been the tank that was knocking down the trees. She's re-aiming. He's moving about a bit. Trying to hide behind the wreck. Rounds out. Oh! Dies before the shell arrives. So this one is definitely a victory. And she did platoon with the T-78, and they've both got at least 3 kills. So this is definitely going to be a brothers in arms. Here's the end of battle results to the first game, and that was the one on Live Oaks, and that was an ace tanker game for Angelina75 in the Hummel. Yep, she's had an ace tanker before, as you saw from the rear of her vehicle, and now she's got another one. She got a Bruiser medal for getting at least 5 critical hits, and she did get a brothers in arms because she managed to get at least 3 kills, and so did her teammate in the Lorraine 40-ton, platoon mate rather, and so they both earned the BIA badge. She also got a Confederate for hitting more of the enemy than anyone else on her team, and her win rate was 3,972. And there's the shot on the Canonian Jagdpanzer. She not only got 446 hit points of damage from that direct hit, she also managed to get some stun assist for 300, is that 386 or 3... It's 308. Yes, my eyesight is going. 308 hit points and 2 stuns on him as well. So she actually did some serious damage to him, as well as actually getting stun assist. And that CS44 she hit when he was behind the house. 197 hit points on him. That's a very good shot as well. So let's have a look at team score and see where she was. Well, she was second on damage on her team, but third overall on damage on the game. 3,540 hit points went to the Scorpion G, and he picked up a high caliber. The second highest damage was the UDIS 03 on the enemy team with 2,312. And the third highest damage goes to Angelina with 2,030 hit points of damage. When it came to kills, it was the Lorraine 40 Ton who did the best. He got 4 kills in that one. Her platoon mate. 3 kills went to Angelina, second place, and 2 kills went to the Scorpion G, the Budgie, and 3 members of the enemy team. Their M12, their CS44, and their Pantera. When it came to base XP, it was Angelina that was top, 619. The next high scorer was the Scorpion G with 608, and then it was the VK101P with also 608. Unfortunately, it was a drawn game, unfortunately, so she didn't end up with a victory, but it couldn't be helped really because the enemy wasn't attacking all in force, and it was difficult to try and worm their way out or try and get them out of their fixed positions. They were camping quite a lot. 22 shots fired, 9 direct hits, 3 penetrations and 14 splash. Damage of 2,030 hit points, all of it at more than 300 meters. Damage 9 of the enemy, kill 3, did 133 hit points of damage assistance, plus 308 hit points of stun assist off 8 stuns. On a free-to-play account, Angelina managed to get 25,879 credits. She got 15,000 credits for completing a mission and 4,108 for courageous resistance. That's because she got an epic or battle hero medal in a losing or drawn game. 44,987 credits altogether, and after resupply of ammunition took away 33,247 credits profit. 619 base XP, 375 for courageous resistance, again took away 994. So can't do enough damage. Well, she was using both ammunition, she was getting hits and some damage on the enemy. You saw that defender, she managed to do 578 hit points of damage to him using the special HE, which is probably better than she might have done with the standard HE previously. I don't know. It's debatable whether or not that would be more or less, but she did get good damage by shooting at the enemy. But of course we do know that Angelina is a very good shot and she does earn a lot of damage with these shells, so these tests are very valuable because it does tell you what sort of shell loadout you should actually try and pick for your vehicle. Let's have a look at the second battle. That was the one on Pilsen, and in that one she only got a second class tanker, but she got a bruiser medal for getting at least 5 critical hits. She got 8, and she got another brothers in arms. Yes, she got at least 3 kills, and so did her platoon mate. Her win rate on this one, 2,721. We look at the team score. We can see that using the standard, the special HE, she managed to earn 1,468 hit points, which was the highest on her team. But it wasn't the highest overall. The Cromwell B on the enemy team got a Leather Slayer's medal and 2,265 hit points, but he didn't get a high caliber because it wasn't 20% of the enemy hit pool, so he missed out there. The second highest damage in the game was 45 TP on the enemy team with 1,987, and third highest was Angelina with 1,468. When it came to kills, it was her platoon mate, the T78. He got 4 kills, 3 kills went to Angelina and to the Cromwell B, best player on the enemy team. And then we got 2 kills for the T3485, the Type 58 and the E25 on the enemy team, one of the tanks she took out. When it came to base XP, she's actually in 3rd place, is it 4th place on the game? I think it's actually 4th place because she was beaten by T78 who got the highest with 714, the E25 got 702, and then we've got the Cromwell B on the enemy team with 698, followed by Angelina with 692. So that high damage score actually earned him more XP and enabled him to push his score up, so he just beat Angelina by 6 experience points. She fired 13 rounds in this game, not as many in the previous game. 5 direct hits, 1 penetration, only 1 pen, even though she was firing the special HE. 7 splash as well, but of course splash is a problem because of course less splash area. It's a smaller splash radius. 1,468 hit points on this one, which is all of it was at more than 300 meters. Now, if you remember the previous game, I'll bring those stats up. You can see a lot more damage with the mix of shells than in the following game with the special HE only. She also received 1 hit by way of splash damage from the enemy Arty, who managed to work out where she was. 5 enemy vehicles were damaged, 3 were killed, and she earned 22,003 credits from the battle, 15,000 for completing a mission, 37,003 credits altogether, and after repair and ammunition resupply, remember, increased costs on ammo but less shells fired, 28,036 credits profit. Now compare that to the previous results, and you can see she earned more profit of the previous battle, even though she still got the completing a mission and courageous resistance. Even if you take that out, she still earned more credits from a mix of shells than she did from the special HE. She earned 25 bonds off this one, and she also earned 692 base XP times 5 for the first victory on this one, and 3,460 experience points altogether. So I think you can take away from this that the new HE shells do actually do some damage to the enemy, but it's better to carry a mix of the shells rather than just one type. So you are better off with carrying just a couple or maybe a few more premium HE in order to penetrate heavy tanks that might come your direction. But the AP shells, well, we'll have to wait until the results are in to show that the AP shells are basically useless, because you rarely get any damage whatsoever with those ones due to the inaccuracy that Wargaming has put into Arty gameplay now. So I hope you enjoyed both of those replays. The first one was very good, but unfortunately ran out of time, so it ended up as a draw. But the second one, well, that was better because they got the win, but less damage done with the new shells only. So if you enjoyed that replay, please give this video a like, do subscribe to our channel, leave a little comment down below because it feeds the algorithm. And thank you for watching.